or craving was neurally as well as psychologically distinct from liking. Whereas the zone of the brain that controls our motivation to eat stretches across the entire nucleus accumbens, the sections of the brain that give us pleasure when we eat occupy smaller hotspots within this same area. For Berridge, this discovery offers a fruitful way for thinking about some of the disorders of desire that bedevil humans. For example, binge eating may, like other addictive behaviors, be associated with excessive wanting without commensurate liking. You may feel a potent drive to purchase an extra large portion of cheesy nachos, even though the pleasure they deliver, when you actually consume them, is much less potent than you expected. Indeed, binge eaters often report that the foods they crave do not even taste good when they are eating them. The desire is greater than the enjoyment. However, several neuroscientists have pointed out in response to Berridge that liking and wanting remain highly entangled. Berridge himself admits that there is strong evidence that if you reduce the amount of food is liked, the consequence is that it is also wanted less. Even if our craved foods do not make us as happy as we hope they will, the reason that we crave them in the first place is because we once loved them. Like drug addicts, we are chasing a remembered high. Our likes thus remain a central motivating force in shaping how and what we eat. To find out more about why we like the foods we do remains a vital question for anyone who is interested in feeding themselves or their family better. If asked to say where tastes come from, I suspect that most of us would say they were determined by individual temperament, which is another way of saying genes. Being a chocolate lover or hater becomes so much part of our self-image that we can't imagine ourselves any other way. We show that we are adventurous by seeking out the hottest chilies. We prove we are easygoing by telling our host we eat anything. We confirm that we are naturally conservative by eating patriotic hunks of red meat. Taste is identity. Aged 8, my daughter used to draw pictures of herself and write prawns, peas, mushrooms at the top, surrounding herself with the tastes she loved best. Because our tastes are such an intimate part of ourselves, it is easy to make the leap to thinking that they must be mostly genetic, something you just have to accept as your lot in life. Parents often tell children that their particular passions place them on this or that side of the family. You got your fussiness from your grandfather, as if you were destined from birth to eat a certain way. Sometimes it is uncanny how a suspicion of celery or a deep hunger for blackberries replicates from parent to child. When we notice these familial patterns, it confirms us in our view that food preferences must be inherited through our genes. When I've described the argument of this book to people I meet, sometimes they get a little angry. I disagree that we learn how to eat, they say. You'd never get me to like sultanas, squid, salami, delete as appropriate. Anyway, they say, what about genes? It's fine by me if you don't like sultanas. And I'm certainly not denying that there is a genetic component in our relationship with food. We are not born as blank slates. Some people have a heightened genetic sensitivity to certain flavors, notably bitterness, while others are blind to them. There are also genetic variations in individual appetite, the speed at which we eat, and the extent to which people actually enjoy eating. We vary in how we chew, how we swallow, and how we digest. Some people are born with conditions that make it much harder to eat, such as a delay to the oral motor system. I had no idea quite how fraught the basic matter of getting food from plate to mouth could be until my third child was born with cleft palate, and he and I both struggled at mealtimes. He is now 5, and new dishes occasionally still provoke tears, usually his. Our relationship with food and weight is additionally affected by epigenetics, our experience in the womb. The thrifty phenotype hypothesis of biochemist C. Nicholas Hales and epidemiologist David Barker suggests that being undernourished in utero leaves people with a lifelong propensity for weight gain, an unfair fate to be handed so early. The question remains to what extent we are capable of overriding this genetic and epigenetic inheritance and learning new tastes. This riddle can seem impossible to unravel, given that children do not learn to eat under laboratory